right. Well, hello, 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 and happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Saturday. Yes, yes, yes. So, welcome back. If you don't know who I am Miss Christine, and this is Live in the Music Room. And I want to thank everyone for joining today. If you're watching the replay, thank you as well for joining in. We always appreciate everyone, whether you're here live or watching the replay. If I haven't mentioned, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, it helps the school grow. So please don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. All right. So today we have something exciting. I mean, every time I come in, I feel it's exciting. But we're going to do something special. This is a Unit 1 bonus, and we're going to be doing a ear training exercise, okay? So all, 12 plus lessons that you've been working on with your theory, we're going to apply it to our ears, okay? So learning the notes of the treble clef, learning the notes of the bass clef, but now we're going to put it into an ear training exercise. Okay. And I see some people are in the room. Happy Saturday, Mobile Music. Thank you for joining in. It's always a pleasure to see you here. We can always count on you. And it looks like 2 for 1 is here again. Thank you, 2 for 1. High five. Shout out to 2 for 1 Entertainment. Always a pleasure to see you. We just celebrated a multicultural celebration with one of our schools. And so 2 for 1 found it to still show up even after all that you did yesterday with our multicultural show for our children. So without further ado, you always know, are you ready to learn? Are you ready to learn? Let's put it in the chat. If you're ready to learn, put it in the chat. Let's put it up on the screen. Are you ready to learn? That is my question to you. Are you ready to learn? So let's put it in the chat. You know what to do. If you're ready to learn, let me hear you say, ready to learn. Yes, ready to learn, ready to learn. It's a cold, rainy day here in New York City, but it's still a happy Saturday. Yes. So it looks like Mobile Music is ready to learn, always ready to learn. Good, good, good. Good to see you, of course, again. Now, let's talk about what we're going to be working on. Let's get our lesson plans together. So let's look at today's lesson. All right, so what do we have on our lesson today? Well, today we're going, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing an ear training exercise, okay? And so the first section is going to deal with high and low sounds, high and a low. Okay. And you can let me know if you're able to hear that keyboard sound. All right. And I'll explain everything as I go along. Then we're going to go into section 2, which is the sound higher or lower? Very similar to section 1, but instead of just telling me is it high or low, you're going to be listening to the second note. Okay. So for example, if I play, that's the first note, and that's the second note. No, you're not able to hear. Okay, what else is new? Okay, let's see what else is going on. You can't hear the sound. Okay, that's nothing new. Let's just see what's going on. Can you hear this? I don't hear anything either. Okay. All right, you're not hearing the keyboard. Okay, give me one moment. Let me see. It wouldn't be a Saturday without audio issues. Okay. Let me try one thing. Okay. Give me 1 second. Um, okay. Let me try this. Can you hear that? Yes. Okay. Um, so let's do this because this is a good test for me. So I'm going to start with, can you hear this sound? Can you hear the E note? Let me hear you say, yes, I can hear the E note. Okay, hold on just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. I think you can hear this. Give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm back and I apologize for that. Now I'm going to ask you if you can hear middle C. Do you hear that? Let's see if you can hear middle C. Can you hear middle C? Okay. Let's see. Let me know in the chat because I'm playing with my settings. Middle C is heard. Okay, good. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, middle C is heard. All right, I'm not sure what happened, but I'm glad that you can hear it. So as I was saying, for our lesson today, section 2 will deal with higher or lower. For example, here is middle C, for example. And you're going to tell me if the second note is higher or lower. So this can be like a little practice. Here's your first note. And now is the second note higher? In this case, yes. Okay, we have a C. And then we went to the G, which is higher than the C. All right, so different things like that we will explore in section 2. And then in section 3, Section 3 is going to deal with going up or down. And this is a fun activity because you can put an arrow in the chat and tell me, is the arrow going up or down? Okay. Or is the arrow going up or down? Are the sounds going up or down? And you will indicate with an arrow for it's going up, or you will indicate an arrow if it's going down. Okay, so you really got to turn on your ears, turn on your musical ears, okay? And I'll be going over each step with you as we go through each section. Then the section 4, which I didn't put section 4, but that's okay. You're going to hear different sounds, just one sound, one note, and your job is to tell me, does that sound like it should be in the treble clef or the bass clef, okay? And do the best you can. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. And we'll go over our answers at the end, okay? So let me just reiterate what I just said. Now, I also would encourage you to go to our school store and download the worksheet so that you can have the worksheet and you can listen along and, of course, write your answers right on your worksheet, okay? So let me put that link in the chat, all right? And so I'll give you a few minutes. Now, if you can't get to the school store because maybe you don't have a printer or you're watching on your cell phone, for example, then you can just open up a notepad or get a piece of paper, okay? A blank piece of paper and a pencil, pen, or something to write with, rather. And we'll go through the sections. But let me put the link in the chat as promised. So I'm going to do that right now. And if you click on the Music Theory Basics when you go to the store, then you will find the worksheet for your ear training, Unit 1 bonus, okay? Here is the link. The link is in the chat right now, and I'll give you a few moments to have an opportunity to get that, okay? And you can, let me know if you have questions. Of course, there is the store, as you already know. Here is the QR code for those of you who would like to scan the code. Okay. And give you a few moments to get a piece of paper, something to write with. Okay. Or better yet, go to the school store and download the worksheet. Okay. Download the worksheet. All right. Let me just pause for a moment. Let you kind of take it all in. This is a bonus, okay? We've never done anything like this, but that's okay because I know you have the ability. Okay. All right. A few more seconds to get a piece of paper and something to write. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay. Any questions? So if you have something to write with, you can put in the chat, I'm ready. If you downloaded the worksheet, you can say, downloaded the worksheet. Kind of let me know if you're ready to begin your ear training. Okay, and this should be very fun, and we'll go over the answers, of course. Okay. All right, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. Always excited. All right, few more seconds. Give you a few more seconds to get yourself together. Okay. Now, there's a question coming in. Where exactly? The link does not take you to the worksheet, just to the store. That is correct. I gave you just the link to the store. Let me give you the direct link. My apologies, okay? My apologies. There is the direct link, okay? So I gave you the direct link here, okay? And that will take you directly to the store, directly to the worksheet, rather. It's going to take you to the store, but you'll be able to see everything and get that worksheet, okay? Thank you. Who was that? Mobile Music. Thank you, Mobile Music. All right. Okay, so I'll give you a few more seconds to get that worksheet together, okay? I know it takes some time, and then you can just get a piece of paper too. And when you have some time, you can, download the worksheet. But it's nice to have the worksheet because everything is in sections, okay? And Mobile Music, you can let me know if that link works, okay? You're welcome. You are welcome. Okay, you are welcome. All right, so that takes you right to the store. It looks like we have a couple of people coming in. So welcome. Let me say welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to everyone. It's always a pleasure to see you and even our new visitors / students. Okay. All right, so I am ready to get started. Are you ready to get started? Okay, yes, the link worked. The link worked. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to get started right now with our Unit 1 ear training. This is a bonus, and it is going to be dealing with low, okay, and high. Low and high sounds. All right, So let me get myself together. And so we're going to deal with section 1. Okay, section 1. Section 1, and you can write on your piece if you're dealing with just a white blank piece of paper, you can write section 1, okay? So that when we go over our answers, you know where to look. All right. So the question is, or the directions says, listen carefully. Is the sound low or high? And in this case, if you have your worksheet, you will now circle high or circle low. If you don't have the worksheet, then just write high or low. Okay? Are you ready? Okay, are you ready? Okay, so this is 1A. Listen, listen. And I will play the example 2 times. Usually I just do it once, but this is a beginner class and, we're going to do it 2 times to play. Here we go. Listen, listen. Okay, that was the first time. I'm going to play it again. Listen. Okay, is the sound high or low? Okay, that is the question. Section 1. 1A. Is it high or low? Were the sounds going high or low? Did you hear it going high or low? That is the question. I'll give you a few moments to write down your answer. Okay. Okay. Can you turn it up? Oh, great question. I have to see. Let me see if I can turn it up. Okay. This is how I learned. So let me see if there's a way to turn it up. Okay. I'm going to turn it up and we're going to try it again. Let me try to play 1A again and see. Did that sound a little louder? You can let me know. Did 1A sound a bit higher? And if not, I think I can turn it up. I think I know how to do that. Let's see. Let's listen again. Try it again. Better? Okay, I'm going to go a little bit higher. You can let me know if it's a little bit better. Okay. All right, so that was 1A. I actually played it quite a bit. All right, we're going to move on to 1B. 1B. Here we go. Okay, that's 1B. Listen again. Okay, so is it higher or lower? That's 1B. Section 1B. Is it high or low? Write your answer. Okay. Third time for a charm. Okay, now we're going to 1C. Here we go. Listen. Ooh, listen again. Is it high or low? Is it high or low? Okay, that's 1C, section 1C. Is it high or low? Write your answer in. Okay, we're going to move along. Now let's do 1D, okay? You can write 1D. If you're following along on your worksheet, you should see 1D. Okay, there's a question coming in. Yes, Mobile Music, you have a question? Okay. Let me know if you have questions, please. Okay. All right, here's 1D. Listen again. Okay, so your job is to circle or write, depending on if you're using the worksheet, you would circle high or low. If you just have a blank piece of paper, then you should be writing high or low. Okay, I don't want to confuse anyone by saying higher or lower. It's just high or low. Okay, that's a great question, Mobile Music. Are you supposed to answer if the sound is high or low or going higher or lower? You're supposed to tell me, is it high or low? Okay, so for example, 1D. Are the sounds high or are the sounds low? Are those notes high or are those notes low? Okay, that's your job. You're listening, and your job is to tell me, is that high or is that low? Are those notes high or low? That's all I want to say. I don't want to say too much because I know I'll give the answer away. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Mobile Music, for clarification. So you should be listening to the audio clues, okay, that I'm playing. And if you have the worksheet, you're going to circle high or circle low. If you don't, and you're just using, a notepad, any kind of writing, something to write with, then just write high or low. All right, so let's go to 1E. 1E. Listen. Okay, did that sound high or low? Listen again. So that's 1E. Give you a few moments to write your answer down. What were you hearing? Notes that sound high, notes that sound low. Okay? All right, here's 1F. 1F. Okay, 1F again. What did you hear? High or low? Was those sounds or those notes high or low? Okay, I'll give you a few moments to get yourself together. That was section 1. We just completed section 1. Let me give you a round of applause just so I can test out my sound effects. Let's see if it works. Okay. Nope, it didn't work. Okay, so that was section 1. Section 1. Okay, are we ready to move on to section 2? Are we ready to move on to section 2? There's my sound effect. Okay, I believe we are ready for section 2, okay? All right, nice work. Here is section 2. You're going to listen to each example. I'm going to play each example, and you have to listen for the second note. Listen, is the second note higher or lower, okay? And you're going to write L or H, okay? You're going to write L or H. And I can put that in the chat just so that you have it. So let me give you a second to get ready for section 2. Listen to each example. Let's see if I can type today. Is the second note lower or higher? You're going to write L or H, okay? All right, any questions before we start section 2? Okay, any questions? All right, I don't see any questions coming in. Here's the directions. Section 2, you have to listen to each example. Is the second note higher or lower? And you're going to write L for low or H for high, okay? That's what I'm asking you to do. Oh, I'm asking you to do a lot, but this is a bonus. This is a bonus. Okay, here we go. 2A. You're listening for the second note, okay? Second note. Here we go. Okay. And it's not a piano sound this time. I'm going to play it again. Was the second note higher or lower? Do you need me to play it again? I'll play it again. Here we go. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Okay. That was 2A. Here we go to 2B. Okay, you got to listen. Yeah. Listen for the second note. It's only 2 notes. Listen again. 2B. Okay. I'll play it one more time. Here we go. 2B. Okay. Write your answer. L for low, H for high or higher. L for lower, H for higher is the second note. You're listening for the second note. Here's 2C. 2C. Listen. Ooh, that one is a little tricky, but listen again. One more time. Listen for the second note. Okay. All right. I'm excited. Here we go. 2D. Listen, listen. All right. Listen again. Second note. One more time. And here is 2E. 2E. Listen. Right. H for higher, L for lower. Listen for the second note. One more time. This is 2E. Okay. All right. That is section 2. That's section 2. All right. Let me give you a round of applause for section 2. Okay. I'll give you a moment to get yourself together for section 3. Okay. Nice work completing section 2. This is a bonus. Okay, you may find it a tad bit challenging, but I know you can do this. Okay, section 3. Now you're going to hear 3 sounds. Okay, you're going to hear 3 sounds. And you have to tell me, are those 3 sounds, 3 notes, going up or going down? Okay? Are they going up or are they going down? That's going up. Or this is going down. Those 3, you're going to hear 3 distinct sounds or notes. Okay? Bop, bop, bop. I don't want to say too much because I know I give things away. All right. Section 3. The directions are telling us to listen to 3 sounds. Do they go up or go down? And you're going, if you have your worksheet, you're going to circle the arrow that goes up, excuse me, or the arrow that goes down. If you don't have your worksheet, then just draw an arrow going up or draw an arrow going down. And you can also put your answer in the chat too, okay? But it's easier to have your worksheet or a piece of paper and follow along, because when I go over all the answers, you can check your answers, okay? All right, here we go. Here we go. So this is section 3. Let me put the directions in the chat for section 3. You're going to listen to 3 sounds. Do they go up or down? Circle or draw an arrow that matches. Okay? That is what you have to do for section 3. Are you ready? Here is section 3, directions, just so that it's on the screen. Listen to 3 sounds. Do they go up or down? Draw or circle, if you have the worksheet, an arrow that matches. Okay? So that's what we're doing for section 3. I'm so excited. All right, here we go. Let's get to it. Okay, are you ready? Here is 3A. 3A. Listen, listen. Okay, I'm going to play it again. And no, this is not a piano. So you just got to listen to this instrument. This is the clarinet, by the way. I'm going to play it again. Since it's 3 sounds, I'll play it 3 times. Listen, listen. 3A. Okay, did those notes, those 3 notes, did it sound like it was ascending, meaning going up, higher, or going down? Okay, that's 3A. Here's 3B. Listen. Okay, here's 3B again. And the 3rd time, 3B. Is it going down or going up? You have to tell me with an arrow. Okay, I'll give you a few moments to get yourself together. And if I'm going too fast, please let me know. Okay? Am I going too fast? Arrow up or arrow down. Okay, that was 3B. Here we go. 3C. 3C. Listen again. And one more time. Are those 3 notes going up or down? Here we go. Listen. Okay, that's 3C. Let's move on. There's a few more in section 3. Section 3, we have 3D. 3D. Okay, let me make sure I didn't skip anything. Here we go. Listen, listen. Okay, listen to it again. 3D. One more time. 3D. Good. Put your arrow. Either circle if you have the worksheet or draw an arrow. Okay, here is 3E. Ready? Listen. Uh-oh, hold on. Wait a minute. 3E. Uh-oh, I think I have a repeat here. Okay, hold on. We had 3D. Oh, no, I gotta repeat. Okay, so we're going to have to cross out 3E because it's the same one. Okay, oh, what a bummer. That was my error. Okay, no worries. So I'm going to say just put an X on 3E for right now. Okay, because that's the same as 3D. All right, that's okay. It happens. So we're going to move on to 3F. Okay, listen, listen. Okay, listen to 3F. And I'll play it one more time. Hold on, listen. Are those 3 sounds going up or going down? Okay, so that is section 3. Section 3 we completed. Give you a round of applause there. Section 3 completed. Questions about section 3? Okay. Wow. Working your ear is not easy. You really have to listen. And a lot of times people just don't always listen. Okay. but today we're listening, okay? My apologies for the repeat for 3E. So we just put an X on that and skip over 3E, okay? So we will skip 3E since I had a repeat audio clue. Okay, questions, questions, questions. Questions. All right, questions, questions. Feel like we have to kind of take a pause and see if there are any questions. Mobile Music 2 for 1. Anyone out there? I see you. Any questions? Be sure to put it in the chat. Okay, questions? No questions? Last call. Okay, all right. So we're going to go to our final section. Okay, this is our final section, which is section 4. Section 4. Okay, so in unit 1, we talked a lot about the treble clef, notes, lines and spaces of the treble clef staff, the bass clef lines and spaces, the grand staff when we put them two together, right? And so now I'm going to let you see a short little video of all the notes in ascending order and descending order, okay? We're going to start with the treble clef, and then we're going to move to the bass clef. This is not a question. This is just pay attention and listen, okay? So, and you can also let me know if this video, you know, if you can actually see it. This is why I'm doing these things, to kind of test the audio, okay, the media, because it's not always, I can't always assume that what I'm doing, you're receiving. Okay, so let's listen to the ascending notes on the treble clef staff. Listen. Okay, did you hear the ascending notes on the treble clef staff? So that is a question. Just let me know yes, that you were able to hear the notes. That is a little video clip, and I want to make sure that it's very clear before I go on, okay? Were you able to hear that? I'm going to assume so, but I don't want to, so that's why I'm asking. Let me know. Okay. Then we'll move on to ascending bass clef notes. Okay, yes. All right, and notice that the treble clef notes all were high notes, right? And it would just continue when going on and on and on. Now we're going to deal with the bass clef, and we're going to probably start down here, okay? And so the bass clef deals with lower sounding notes in this case, but if you're reading music or singing it, you're going to be using the lower part of your register or lower instruments if we're reading the bass clef, which is something we talked about in our previous lessons. Here we go, ascending bass clef notes. Listen. Okay, all right. So now you have a clear distinction of what the bass clef notes sound. They have that low, nice, rich sound, right? We're using the piano, and then the treble clef is coming in with the higher sounds. All right, section 4. Now you have to listen again. The whole exercise today is a listening exercise. So you have to really turn on your musical ears. I'm going to ask you to listen to each note and decide which clef. Is it bass clef or treble clef? Does it belong to? You're going to hear one note, all right? You're going to hear one note. So your job is, if you have the worksheet, you're going to circle the treble clef in this case, or the bass clef. And I'll show you, I don't think I did show you the worksheet, okay? Here's section 4. If you had the worksheet, and you see we have the treble clef and we have the bass clef. So if I play a note like this, then you would know, or should know, that that belongs in the treble clef staff. If I play a note here, you should know that belongs in the bass clef staff. Okay. And so for fun, if you don't have your worksheet, you can draw the treble clef or you can draw the bass clef. Okay. So that's how we'll work section 4. Are you ready? Let me go ahead and put this in the chat so you have the directions, written out. So you have to listen to each note, and it's only going to be one note, so that's pretty easy, and determine or decide which clef it belongs to. Okay? This is for section 4. So I'm just writing this in the chat. Okay, there we go, and I'll put it up on the screen. Section 4, listen to each note and decide which clef it belongs to. Are you ready? All right, are you ready? I feel like I have to, get some adrenaline music. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. All right, whoops. Okay, section 4. This is 4A, okay? 4A. Listen, listen. Okay, that one note, should it go in the treble clef staff or should I put it in the bass clef staff? Listen, listen. Okay. Do you think it belongs in the treble clef staff or the bass clef staff? Okay. One more time. Okay. All right. We have some new students coming in. Looks like Brenda Gibbons joined us. Hello and welcome. All right. So we have the next question, which is B4. B4. I'm not going to tell you the answers just yet until we do it all at the end. See some answers coming in the chat, and I'm going to say job well done. But we're going to go over all the answers in just a minute. Job well done. If I can write it in. Here's 4B. Listen. All right. So that note, is that note low or high? Does it belong in the treble clef staff or does it belong in the bass clef staff? Using your musical ears, listen. And I'll play it one more time for you. Whoops, let's see if it'll play. Okay, good. All right, so that's 4B. Now we're going to go to 4C. 4C, listen, listen. Ooh. Does that belong in the bass clef staff or the treble clef staff? Listen again. One more time. Okay, that's 4C. All right, so far you listened to 4A, 4B, and 4C. We're going to continue with section 4, and now we're on 4D. Listen, listen. Here we go. Does it belong in the treble clef staff or the bass clef staff? Okay. All right, good work, good work. All right, now listen again. I'm going to play 4D again. All right, and I'll play it one more time. Listen again. Okay, so that's 4D. Now let's listen to 4E. Listen. 4E. One more time or two more times. 4E. Okay. 4E again. Treble clef or bass clef? All right, and since we were practicing drawing our treble clefs and bass clef staffs or bass clefs, you should be able to, make your drawings right on your paper if you didn't download the worksheet. Okay, here is 4F. Listen, listen. Okay, that's 4F, treble clef or bass clef. And one more time, 4F. Okay. All right, we have two more. This one is a little lengthy, but I know you can do it. Here we go. We have 4G. Are you ready? Here we go. Listen, listen. Does that sound like it belongs in the treble clef staff, or does it belong in the bass clef staff? Listen again. One more time, 4G. Okay. And now we're going to 4H. That is right, 4H. Okay, listen, listen. Treble clef or bass clef? Listen to 4H. And 4H again. Whoops. Okay, okay, all right. So I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to just review your answers, okay? I feel like we need to move our shoulders. We were really working our brain, listening to all of these clues. So now we're going to do a little stretch. It's time to answer or check your answers. Let's check your answers. Are you ready? Okay. Got the worksheet in my hand. Okay. All right. Let's take our 30 seconds off the clock. All right. And of course, this is a place for learning. So let me just say, if you get something incorrect, it's okay. This is a learning laboratory. Okay. This is a place for learning. And so don't get discouraged if you got, questions incorrect. That's why you can watch the replay. You can continue to tune in every Saturday and learn. Okay. So I just want to make sure I mention that because this is not about being perfect. This is about progress and getting better every week. Okay. All right. Any questions for me while we, before we check our answers? Any questions? Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to get a pen. Any particular color? What color should I use? I'll use purple. Okay. Just because it's there, and I think purple is a nice color right now to use. So here's my little, whoops, that's not purple. Let's see what's going on here. Let's get a purple pen. Oh, there we go. Okay, purple. Can everyone see my my screen and everything is clear? Okay. All right. So here is, we're going to check our answers. All right. Now I'm going to do it in real time. Circle the clue, and I'll even go back, okay, and kind of explain some things if you have some questions. So we were listening to section 1 in the very beginning, right? And you had to tell me, is it low or high, right? And so we're on question 1A, okay? And so now let's just listen. Let's just listen. Okay, now you heard a couple of notes, and your job is to tell me, did it sound high? Did those notes sound high or low? That's it. Just high or low. Okay. And if you said high, that is the answer that we're looking for. Okay. Let me get my little sound effects. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. High. If you got it correct, give yourself a little check. All right. And a job well done. Absolutely correct.
You're absolutely correct.
Okay, we're going to go to 1B. Are you ready? Okay, good. Mobile Music said hi. All right, now let's go to 1B, and let's listen. 1B, here we go. Okay, I'll play it again. You should know automatically that sounds low. Okay, so you would go to your worksheet, or if you didn't have the worksheet, and you would put low. You could write it out or circle it on your worksheet. Okay, all right. We're now on 1C. 1C. Here is the clue. Whoops. Here is the clue that we were listening to. Okay, were those notes high or low? Okay, you should automatically hear that that is in the upper register of the piano. That's a high sound. Those are high notes. Okay, high notes to be clear. Okay, so far so good. Am I able to move on? Okay, let me see if I can get a thumbs up. Come on and give me a thumbs up. Yes, give me a thumbs up. Okay, thumbs up, please. Yes, yes, yes. So proud of you all. Okay, all right, so we're going to move on. And we're up to 1D. Okay, you're doing so well. Here is, whoops, here's 1D. 1D, we're here. Okay, listen. Okay, did that sound high or low? Play it again. Okay, you should know. When I say you should know, don't, if you didn't know, it's okay. But you can hear that that is high, okay? Those notes are high, okay? All right, let's go to 1E, 1E. 1E, whoops, that's section 2. Here we go, 1E is right here. Listen, listen. Good, Brenda Gibbons, I see you. Hi. Okay, listen to 1E. Okay, were the notes low or high? That's 1E. Okay, 1E, you should know. When I say you should know, hopefully if you've been paying attention and following the course so far, you would know that that is low. Okay, that's what that answer is for 1E. Okay, final question for F, 1F, 1F. Here we go, 1F, and listen. Okay, the notes are going down, and in this case, you're not even saying up or down, you're just saying high or low, and so that is low, okay? So hopefully, did you get all of those correct? Let me know. Let me know if you got them all correct.
You're absolutely correct.
Okay. Did anyone get anything wrong? Any questions? Okay. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was section 1. Okay. Let's have some more fun here, okay? So now, what color should I use for section 2? Let's have some fun with some colors. We had purple for section 1. Give me a nice color. Give me a color for section 2. For my pen, what color pen should I use? I have red, I have orange, I have yellow, I have green, I have blue, I have pink, I have brown, I have black. Okay. All correct. Wow, Mobile Music, all correct. Good job. Good job, Mobile Music. Okay, any color, particular color pen I should use? Try to get some engagement here. Okay, orange, orange. Orange, you glad I asked. Okay, here we go. Orange it is. Okay, orange. We're going to use the orange pen. Let's see. Is it working? Yes, it is. Okay, so section 2, you had to tell me, is it higher or lower? So you had to listen to the audio clue that I provided. Is the second note, not the first, but the second note, does it sound higher or lower? If it sounds higher, you're going to write an H. If it sounds lower, you're going to write the letter L. Okay, so you're listening for the second note. Okay, second note. If the second note is higher, write capital H. If the second note is lower, write capital L. Okay, does everybody remember that? Okay, here we go. Let's go to section 2. Here is section 2. You may remember. Let me move this out of your way. Okay, and here is 2A. Listen. Okay, so you don't have the piano sound, but you have to tell me, is the second note higher or lower? Okay, all right. Let's see. What do you think? Let's see if I can get some answers coming in. Do you think that's the second note is higher or lower? What do you think? What do you think? Let's see if we can get some answers to come in on the chat. What do you think for 2A? Is the second note higher or lower? Okay, good. Okay, I see some answers coming in. I see some answers coming in. Brenda Gibbons said lower, and that is correct. Okay, so see how well you got to trust your ears. Okay, that is correct. Where's my answer sheet? Let me bring my answer sheet back over. Okay, yes, it is L. So let me get my orange pen and put L. Okay, good work, 2 for 1. I see you. Let's go to 2B, okay, 2B. Here's 2B, or not to be. That is my question to you. Is it higher or lower, the second note? Here we go, 2B. Listen again. Okay, what do you think? Give me one moment. Seems like I'm always running into some kind of issue here. Ay, ay, ay. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Almost there. Almost finished. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. I don't know if okay, can you hear me? Am I back? Yes, I think I'm back. Okay. All right. Here we go. So we were on 2B, right? We were on 2B. Okay. Here we go. Let's listen to 2B again. Okay, one more time. Is the second note higher or lower? Let's go to our worksheet. Yes, I'm back. Okay, so that would be H. The second note was higher. Okay. All right, let's go to 2C. 2C. Here we go. 2C. Listen, listen. Oh, tricky, tricky. Okay, what do you think? Okay, here we go. Let me go to my worksheet. Okay, hopefully. So we're on 2C, and that's H, that's higher. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know if you heard that little buzzer. Okay, let's move along. Let's move along. 2D, 2D. 2D. Is the second note higher or lower? Okay, the second note is lower. So we're going to put an L, L. You can mark your answers. Mark your answers. All right, 2E, 2E, 2E. Let's listen, listen, listen. 2E. Listen. Very subtle, okay? Here we go. Listen again. Okay, so that is, oh, let me see what's coming in. Where are my answers coming in? See, I'm having a little bit of a tech issue, so I apologize. Okay, good, good, good. Lower, 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 okay? I don't know why it just always seems like a issue with um with my live streams often here, okay? All right, hold on. So let me see, where was I? 2E, 2E. Ay, ay, ay. Sorry about this. Here we go. Listen. Okay, so the second note on 2E, I don't know what I kind of lost my place, but that is higher, okay? Listen again. It's just ever so higher. Not clear as a big jump. Almost like we haven't talked about steps, stepwise motion. So this right, hearing the second note is higher, okay? In this case here, and if we were here, okay? That's what I believe you heard for 2E. Let me go back, doing multiple things here. Here's 2E. Okay, so you know that's a flute, but this here's it on the piano. Or I don't want to throw your ears off. But yes, that is higher, okay? It's just a step higher. So that makes it a little harder because it's not a jump, like a low and a jump to a high note. But that second note is higher. Okay, so let's go to now section 3. I'll let you look at your answers here for section 1 and section 2. Section 1, we had a purple pen. So let's do that. Here's our purple pen for section 1 and our orange pen for section 2. Give me a color for section 3. Okay, give me a color for section 3. Okay, okay, okay. Let me give you 30 seconds. Come on, give me a color. Come on, come on. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Give me a color for section 3. Come on, come on, come on. Section 3 needs a color. I need a color for my pen. Okay, green. There we go. Good. Green it is. Okay, green, green, green. Okay, so now is it going up or is it going down? You have to use your arrow, okay? And if you're watching the replay, download the worksheet and circle is the notes going up or down, okay? All right, are you ready? Let's go to section 3 here. Section 3 here. All right, so you're going to hear 3 sounds, by the way, okay? And you're going to tell me, is it going up or is it going down? Whoa, that's a big arrow. That's okay. Here we go. Here's 3A. So this is our clarinet here. Are those notes going up or down? What do you think? They're going up. Okay, they're going up. Okay. Excuse me. All right, here we go. Let's go to 3B. 3B. What direction are they going? Those notes are going down. Down, 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 down. You lost audio. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. I may have to do a separate video. I don't know why can't hear. Your audio went out. Really? Okay. Oh. Okay, hold on. Can you hear me now? Let's try the audio again. Let's try 3A. 3A. Here's 3A. Whoops. 3A. Did you hear that? Okay, start over, please. Okay, here's 3A. Okay, 3A again. Okay, 3A, the notes are going up. Are you able to hear the sound? Let's see, can you hear my sound? Okay. All right, so your arrow should be going up. The notes are ascending. Now let's go to 3B. Good, 3B. Here's 3B. Listen again. Okay, yes, you can hear it. Okay, good. All right, so 3B, the notes were going down. Okay. Let's go to 3B one more time. Okay, down. All right, so everybody's with me. Okay, good. Here is 3C. Listen to 3C. What direction, up or down? I'm going to go to our worksheet and get my green pen. And 3C, the notes were going up. Okay, let's hear it again. 3C, the notes were going up. Listen. Okay, that's 3C. Now let's do 3D. Remember, we had to skip 3E. So let's listen to 3D. That sounds so much like 3C. Hold on. Here's 3C. Okay, sorry. And then here's 3D. I just wanted to check something. 3D. Good. 3D is going up. Listen again. Okay, so 3D arrow going up because the notes were ascending. Okay. All right, we skipped 3A because it was a repeat. Okay. All right, now let's do 3F. 3F. Here's 3F. Ooh. Listen again. Okay, now that is going down. So here is the trick. Even though the instrument that you're hearing is playing in an upper register, meaning in this case, the clarinet and even the flute in section 2 were playing high notes, your job is to listen. You were confused with D? Okay, let's go back to D. You have to listen to see what direction is it going up or down. Let me see if I can get 3D to play for you since you were confused. Okay, because we're going through, there's tech issues, so I apologize. All right, let's listen to 3D if you're confused. Let's listen to 3D. This is why we do this. This is live. Here we go. Listen. What did I say that was? Let me hear it again. Did I put down? Let me see. Maybe I made an error. Hold on. Oh, yes. No, that's down. My apologies. Okay. My apologies. Okay. Yes. No, that's going in a descending pattern. Where's my arrow? My mistake there. My got mixed up. Okay. All right. Does that clarify that for you, Mobile Music? And you know what I'm going to do, because this is my first time. Yes, this down. Doing this, I may actually do a special video so that there is a lot more clarity with the, with the audio clues. But, you won't know until you try, okay? That's why we say this is sort of, I'm learning every Saturday, and I'm relying on students like you to help me, okay? And if I make a mistake or you can't hear something, please let me know, okay? All right. So just to be clear, that was down, going down. Okay. You're welcome. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we had 3A going up, right? 3B, you can hear it's going down, right? And then we had 3C, that's going up, right? And then we had 3D, right? That's going down. We skipped 3E and then 3F. Okay, good, good, good. All right. So hopefully, and then that's going down for 3F. Let's play that again. Okay. Did I clarify everything for section 3? Please let me know. Mobile music. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds before we go to section 4. Quick, quick, quick. Section 4. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm not sure if mobile music is still confusing for you. That's okay. Brenda Gibbons, if it's still a little confusing for you, then what you have to do is continue to join in and watch some of our replays. And maybe I'll do a follow-up. Okay? All right. No worries there. Okay, this is why we're doing this. Okay? All right. So now here is section 4 where your job was to tell me, does it belong in the, let's see if I can hand with my mouse the treble clef. Wow, look at that treble clef. That's really a bad one. Okay, I'm not going to try to draw on the screen because you can see how bad it is. That's okay. That's why we have fun here. All right, so section 4, you had to tell me what clef it belongs to, okay? So the clef, we had the bass clef or the treble clef. Where's our treble clef? Here's our treble clef. Here's our bass clef, okay? All right, so here is question 4A, 4A. Okay, does that belong in the treble clef or the bass clef? Oh, okay. That's a good suggestion. Mobile music brought up, if you are, let's see if I can bring that up, that little suggestion. If you are confused, use your hands when listening. Yes. So what does that mean? Mobile music is saying, let's go back to say section 3, for example. Okay, so let's do 3A. It doesn't matter. So let's say you're confused. You're really struggling with hearing it. And then let's not forget this is live stream. But here's 3A. So you can kind of use your hand. Play it again. And you can kind of almost visualize this ba-da-da. So you know that the arrow is going in an ascending direction. Okay? That's what mobile music is suggesting for Brenda Gibbons. And then here's 3B. So you hear it. Right? So you can use your hand. Or you can kind of hum that, okay? So that is a very good suggestion to hear it and use your hands. Put it in your body. Da, da, da. And then you'll be able to maybe recognize the direction of those notes. It takes time. Okay, and I'm probably could work on my audio too. Okay, but that was an excellent suggestion, mobile music. Okay, all right, so hopefully that puts some things in perspective. All right, let's go to section 4. Oh, I don't have a color. So we had purple, orange, and we had green. Let's get another color, okay, for section 4. Give me a drum roll. And then we're almost finished. You're welcome, Brenda Gibbons. All right, let's get a color. What color pen? Let's get a color. Let's get a color. Let's get a color. Okay, what's our color? Okay, no colors. Okay, how about red? Did we use red? So let's use red. Okay, so there's a clear distinction. Okay, black. Okay, black. Black it is. Let's do black. Okay, so here is 4A. Now you're only hearing one note. You're only hearing one note. And so your job is to tell me, does it belong in the treble clef or the bass clef? Okay, let's listen. Okay, would that go in the treble clef or the bass clef staff? If you said the treble clef staff, you want to circle the treble clef. Okay, that is a high note. Okay, let's go to 4B. Here we go. And you know, I'm using my mouse. So, of course, drawing on the screen is not the easiest, but that's part of the fun. Good. Okay, listen to 4B. Okay, would that go in the bass clef or the treble clef for 4B? If you said the bass clef, that is correct. Bass clef. Okay, let's go to 4C. 4C. Here's 4C. Okay, 4C. Listen. Oh, tricky, but you should still hear that that is what? A low sound. Okay, so that's in our bass clef. Here's 4D. 4D. Does that go in the treble or the bass clef? 4D should go in the treble clef. Okay, let's listen to 4E. 4E. And it might help to put, when you're putting your answers in the chat, I'll say please write write the number and letter with your answer so that I could kind of follow along. Okay. All right. What number? Now I lost my place. I think we're on 4E. Okay. Is that right? Let's go to our worksheet. We're on 4E. Okay. Here we go. We have two more. 4E. Here's 4E. Okay. 4E. Listen, listen. Okay, does it go in the treble clef or the bass clef? Treble clef or bass clef? Hopefully you said treble clef. Okay, and now let's listen to our last clue. Nope, not last clue. We're on 4F. 4F. Here we go. Listen, listen. Okay, 4F. Good. 4F is bass clef. And I had two more here. So let's go to 4G. Okay. And I think I ran out of space here on my worksheet, but I'll try to draw, which you saw it was really not looking so good. My treble clef. And that was 4H. Okay. No judgment. I'm using my mouse. Okay, 4H. I'm saying 4G. I put 4G. Let me get it right. Here we go. This is 4G, and I put 4H. Sorry about that. Okay, 4G. This is part of the fun. Okay, so 4G, listen again. That belongs in the treble clef, okay? So I don't have it on our worksheet, but that's okay. We'll have it on the worksheet. We'll revise it. So now here's 4H. So 4G is treble clef. Let's listen to 4H. This is now the last one. Here we go. Oh, pretty evident that that is a low sound. So that's going to go in our bass clef. Okay. All right. Did I confuse anyone? Hopefully not. If you're confused, watch the replay. Please, 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 because it will make sense. Okay. Did everyone tally up their answers? So how many did you get right and how many did you get incorrect? Let's see. I'll give you a few seconds. 30 seconds. Okay. How many did you get right or how many did you get wrong? Okay, you got 19, 18 seconds. Okay. How many, anyone is bold enough to share? Okay, one wrong. Brenda Givens said one wrong. Okay, good. Okay, not bad at all. Okay, not bad at all. What about you? One wrong, 4C, because I thought it was both. Oh, interesting. You had one wrong for 4C, huh? Where was 4C? Let's go to 4C. Let's see. 4C. Oh, yeah. You thought that was maybe in both clefs. No, that is in the bass clef. And, let me, because I love that we're talking and we're doing this in real time. What was that? 4C, right? Yeah, so that is here. Okay, can you hear my keyboard here? Let me do it like this. Okay. Can you see that? Let's see. So that is that note there, 2 for 1. Okay? And so we are on the C3. Almost sounds like middle C. Yes. Here's middle C. That's a great observation. All right. And, because we are in the classroom, I want to do something. Just bear with me because I just appreciate so much of our learning here. I'm going to show you something. Let's see. Chord. Okay, so let's do this. So Mobile Music said it almost sounded like it belonged in 2 clefs, almost like middle C. Here's middle C. You can see it on the screen. It's sitting in the middle of the 2 clefs. We have the treble clef and the bass clef. But when we go to our assignment and we listen to 4C, right? Because that was the one that was a little confusing. Right? That is here. Whoops. and look at where it is on the staff. Okay, and you should know from lesson, let me see, is it lesson 2 or 3, bass clef notes, that is note C. Yes, it does sound like it would be a middle C. You know why? Because it is an octave higher. It's an octave higher. They're both C's, but it belongs in the bass clef staff. If I played this note, then this would be in both clefs, and that would be treble clef and bass clef. But in this case, you heard this note, and so this is the bass clef note, what we call note C. And when we talk about pitch class, there you will see the C3, okay? And so if we were in a vocal class or a choir and I have my lower register singers, they would be able to hit this note. That was excellent, excellent. Okay, does that put some things in perspective? Does that put some things in perspective with your ear training? And you can be honest, a thumbs up, a thumbs down is just blowing my mind. Okay, this is how we learn. Okay, this is how we learn. But that was a great observation. And as I said to you before, don't get discouraged if something isn't sort of clicking. Okay, even though I say you should know, I don't mean that literally, because then you probably wouldn't need to be here. But we've been working on different concepts. And so Brenda Gibbons says it's blowing her mind. Okay, that's okay. If it's blowing your mind, then that lets me know that I have to do a little bit more deep diving so things connect a little bit better. And it's hard when you've missed 13 plus lessons, right? We've been doing live in the music room since January, and we're in the month of April, towards the latter part of the month. So it's going to be sort of unfair to expect to just jump in and know everything, which is the wonderful thing about live streaming, is that you get to watch things. And I put this timestamp so you can just click right on the areas where you feel you need some work. Like just hit and go right to the lesson where we talk about the lines and spaces of the bass clef. But I think that this is very, very beneficial, because it's not just knowing, that this is note C, right, or middle C, but being able to hear it. And so if I have my singers out here, you would be singing do, and then if I say sing the next note, re, is re higher than do, do, re, right? Or 1, 2. So you should be able to eventually hear that 2 is higher than 1. If I was down here, you could hear that the second note is higher. Or if we do, you can hear that it's ascending, okay? And if we change the key, you should hear the ascending, 1, 2, 3, or we're descending, coming down. Mi, re, do, okay? But it will come, okay? Music is a language, okay? And it's not, you don't wake up learning how to speak English as a child. You develop it over time. You start to hear people speaking the language, communicating, and then you do your own homework, and then things start to connect. So I am really proud of all of you for being courageous enough to join me today. This is not easy, as many of you have shared with me. And so I appreciate you coming in and giving it a try. You didn't have to do that. And You did. Now let's see. Do a solfege section next, like 5 weeks, a beginner listening course. Oh, that's an excellent suggestion, mobile music, because I find that we get a lot of people, whether it doesn't matter if you're a singer or not. Solfege, which is an ear, we can do some ear training exercises that will kind of help with this bonus section that I just did. So thank you for that recommendation. Perhaps I can do a 5-week solfege course, which is similar to what I was sharing with you when mobile music, or 2 for 1, I don't remember who said it, said that this particular note sounded like this note. And it's an octave, okay? It's an octave, meaning it is an octave or 8 notes higher here. You see that it says C octave. But yes, that is a great idea, okay? And a beginner's course, okay? So I'm going to take that into consideration so that everything sort of ties together. It's building blocks. It's building blocks. It really, really is. And, be kind and gentle to yourself for jumping in and giving it a go. You didn't get as many wrong. So clearly you can hear music, you can hear the sounds. We just have to hone it and shape it. All right. Any other questions and or suggestions? Okay. Because this is how I learn too. You learn, I learn. This is what it's all about. Okay. This is what it's all about. Everybody is learning. I'm learning how to live stream. I'm learning how to make sure you can hear what I hear, which it's always a hit or miss, but I'm trying. And so as long as you try in everything that you do, you will see progress. Don't ever give up on yourself. Okay? Whatever it is that you desire in life, you have the ability, and it doesn't matter the age. So, with all of that, I want to say thank you. Let me remind you to like and subscribe. Okay? Even if you subscribed last week, go ahead and give me a like. Okay? Because it really does help. Okay, and I'm trying very hard to grow the channel and inspire people to continue learning. This is a place to edify yourself. And thank you again for joining in. I truly appreciate everyone, even the ones that haven't said anything. Hello, I welcome you. Thank you for watching the replay. If there are no further questions, I'll give a few seconds for questions, comments, suggestions, because I'm new and this is how I learn. I'll allow that, give you a chance. Let me tell you about the resources that you can get. Okay, go ahead and download the worksheet. Okay, here's the worksheet. Okay, every lesson has a worksheet, and every lesson has a video answer key. And even if it doesn't make sense with the answer key, you can email, okay? This is what we do, okay? So you can ask your questions, and we'll do our very best to get back to you right away, okay? So those are the resources, and mobile music, excuse me, is saying thank you for what you are doing. I appreciate that. No one is paying me to come here. I don't have any sponsors yet. And even if I don't, this is something that I believe in. And so I'm very, very appreciative of your efforts for showing up. You show up, I'll show up. You learn, I'll learn. We'll learn together. But more importantly, I'm going to show up for you. And if you're ready to learn, I'm ready to teach. Okay. What is the question here? Can you put the direct link for the worksheet in the chat again? Absolutely. Let me put that in for you. Give me one moment. I have all kind of tech things that I find helpful. Okay, there is the link. See progress, okay? Nothing comes easy in life, but you can never give up on yourself. If you want something, put the work in, you will see the results. You will see the results. Doesn't matter if you're trying to lose weight, get off medication, learn something new. You put the work in, you will see the results. Absolutely. Okay, I am ecstatic to share the gift of music with you every Saturday. As always, continue to put music in your heart. I welcome all of your suggestions. We'll continue to do more ear training. Next week, for our next lesson, we're going into Unit 2, and we're going to be talking about the whole note, the half note, and the quarter note. Excuse me. And so, and we'll try to, and what I'll do is I'll try to bring in more ear training with that. So when we talk about a whole note, instead of just telling you how long you hold it, we'll use our instrument. Whether you're a vocalist, we'll use our instrument and we'll sing those notes. Or if you play, we'll play those notes so that there is a connection. And that's why I decided, let me pause for a moment and do a bonus, because it's great to just, understand the theoretical component of music. But what is it about? How do you connect it with your ears? And that's what I want you to also be able to do. Okay, what good is knowing how to write your name or write words if you can't read them or communicate with someone? And so there is the bridge that I would like to achieve for you. Okay, how exciting! How exciting! Come on and pat yourself on the back for showing up for yourself and a job well done. Okay, all right, well, that's all for today. Like I said, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And hopefully I'll see you next week, and I'll see you in the classroom. Okay? Have a wonderful Saturday, and we'll talk then.